How did all this begin?
I want to say it started with Rejection. Before the SAG strike, there was 346 different film and TV things. And guess how many of those I booked? 0. I was starting to like it and everything like that. Did New York Fashion Week after that. And then modeling stopped. They're just building me up for whatever's next, and who knows what's next. I'm excited to see what God has in store for me. Every loss is a lesson to me.
Maybe you're watching like, no, I'm not a model actor. Listen, stay tuned. Like, listen to this stuff. He's dropping some power, some fire right now.
Because this industry could be very, very discouraging. You could really fight a war in your mind thinking that you're not good enough. When you're in a place of purpose, you don't lose. You never lose until you quit.
Well, welcome to the Elevate It podcast, where we interview leaders who are going after their it. And let me tell you, we have someone very special. I am a little biased, but the world says he's special too. We got Brandon Miles in the studio. I'm talking about actor, creative, entrepreneur, model. I'm come on. I mean, I'm super excited and honored to have you in the place. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. How you feel?
I feel great, man. I'm happy to be here.
You are?
Yeah,
I'm
man.
happy to have you, man.
Yeah, happy to be had.
Happy to be had. Love it right there. Love it. So, actor, model, if we want to name drop, right? We're talking about you've done some work for what? Powerade, Pepsi,
yes, sir.
NFL, MLB. What else? Come on, help me out.
NFL, Eastside Golf, United States men's soccer team. Man. List goes on.
It just keeps going on.
I try to be humble, so
right.
you don't got to throw all that out.
But I want the people to know, right?
Okay.
We're talking about up and coming leaders, like people maybe aspiring to be an actor or anything like that, and maybe not, just hearing that area, that story, or your journey, or whatever the case may be. That's why I want them to know that you're there, you're the real deal. So it's official.
Yeah, thank you.
Movies.
Yeah.
You got it.
We going up, man.
We going up. I love it. Let's go. But I want to know, how did all this begin?
Oh man. I want to say it started with Rejection.
That's where we starting.
That's where it started, man.
Are we 5 minutes in? What?
Let me just go to the beginning.
Okay.
So all my life, my first love was music. I fell into love with music probably at the age of like 3 or 4, just listening to young Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5, and that's how.
With you.
Okay.
I was asking you.
Yeah. So I fell in love with music at a young age, and excuse me. Shortly after, I fell in love with sports.
Okay.
So at the age of 3, I taught myself how to play drums, and then next thing you know, I'm playing sports. So I didn't say I lost my love for music. That's always been there. Never went anywhere. But sports was kind of a distraction from music. I could have been a musician and could have went that route, but once I picked up a basketball, football, I started wrestling. I did track a couple years, baseball, all these different things. I started to get into that. And eventually, basketball was my sport. And that was something that helped bring me out of my shell. I was an introvert the majority of my life growing up. And by the time I got to high school, people were knowing me for my talent on the basketball court. To the point where it was like strangers and people that I didn't even know coming up to me and complimenting my game and stuff like that. That's what brought me out of my shell. Introvert, became more confident in who I am as a person, person off the court. Because I was more vocal on the court than I was off the court.
Wow.
And so my first high school basketball game, I was on the JV squad. We were playing against Reading High. And if you guys know Reading High, they had a basketball player on their team by the name of Lonnie Walker. He plays for the Lakers now. But at the time, he was a huge basketball player. And my first game, JV, packed out crowd, all that. I scored the first 4 points of the game. And within like the first 2 minutes, I got hurt.
Wow.
Came down on my leg. Didn't go back in the game. I had to go back to the back with the trainers. They had to ice up my legs. And that game ended up going to, triple overtime?
Wow.
And come to find out, my dream coach was at the game. And Jay Wright at Villanova, he was at the game, and I guess he caught the end of it because it was packed out by the end of the game. Everybody was there. There was barely even standing room because they were coming to see Lonnie Walker play. That was the season opener. But yeah, I got diagnosed with something called 𝐓𝐡𝐢𝐬's disease, and that kind of took a turn for my career in
What is that?
basketball. It's kind of like growing pains in young men.
Okay.
But my case was pretty bad to the point where it affected my walk and everything like that. So I had to go to PT. I still play basketball and all that, but my potential went downhill from there. And I had high potential. I could have been playing college basketball somewhere. But yeah, that it took a turn. So I ended up playing my sophomore year, ended up playing my junior year, played one game my junior year, and it took a toll on me mentally, and all it just affected me. I was like, I can't do this. So I wanted to go back to the drawing board, and I had to talk with my family, my friends, and I was like, yeah, I think it's time that I'm not a quitter type, but I'm like, yeah, I need to really focus on what's best for me in this time. So I stepped away from basketball my junior year to prepare for my senior year. And I was doing PT again, and that's when I got back into music. Got into music production, started making beats and stuff like that, because that was, again, my first love.
Yes.
And when it came to my senior year, I tried out for the basketball team. I got pulled in by the coaches, and they sat me down, and they said, we're probably going to regret this, but we're going to cut you.
Oh.
And in the moment, my heart dropped, but there was something inside of me that was like, I got you. It was like God was telling me, like, I got you. Like, don't even worry. And 2 weeks later,
So that's the rejection.
that's the rejection.
Okay.
And that's a key point for the story.
Okay.
2 weeks after that rejection, I got asked to be a model in an Adidas fashion show that was collaborated with a celebrity stylist and designer by the name of Devin Milan and Kicks USA, which is now Snipes. And I did that fashion show, and it went really well to the point where it ended up being a small tour. And then I started to develop a thing for modeling. Like, I was starting to like it and everything like that. Did New York Fashion Week after that. And then modeling stopped. And I was trying to figure out, how can I take modeling to the next level, to the professional level. So I did some research, found some professional models that are killing it, that are in our area, the Philadelphia area, and reached out just for advice to get feedback.
Yeah.
And I got the feedback, and throughout that time, by this time I'm freshman in college, and my freshman year of college was rough, man, because I felt like I was going through an identity crisis. I didn't know where I was going, but I knew I was destined to be great somewhere. But it wasn't necessarily what I was in school for, which was marketing. And it was just rough, but I was trying to make it through. And in my freshman year, my aunt passed away, my aunt Claudette, and in that time, it made things even rougher. I was also going through a breakup at the time, and there was a lot of different things that were just going on that was like really trying to beat me down.
Wow.
But at my aunt's repast, I met the guy who's my manager now. His name is Daryl Washington. He's with Global Management 101. Well, he's one of my managers. I'm also managed by Victoria Landry's and Creative Talent. But I met him through his mom, which was my high school janitor and family friend. And she told him about me because I was a mod. She knew I was modeling and everything like that. And
You see how you said modeling like that? Did you catch that? Yeah.
no, I said modeling, everything like that.
Everything like that. Okay. The introvert became a model, y'all. Don't miss that point, right? All right, keep going.
So I met him, and he saw my potential, and he ended up getting me in an agency. So God worked that out without me. I mean, of course, I prayed on it and everything, but I didn't even reach out to the agency. It's kind of like it came to me in a sense. So from there, it's just been up. And
Hold on. So there's an open door because you were willing to explore it.
It's a good point. Yes.
Better preach, y'all.
Yes.
I know this ain't there, but the preacher in me just wanted to reach out in there. How many times we think about open doors and opportunities and different things like that? You just said, "Come on, y'all! Like let's tie this together. Let's listen to this." Because the whole point is getting these good gems out of there that we can apply as we're pursuing art. The things that we're doing. So maybe you're watching like, "No, I'm not a model actor." Listen, stay tuned. Like listen to this stuff. He's dropping some power, some fire right now. Dealing with rejection. Okay. So we got to get from there too. I need to know how you overcame the area of rejection. And it has to be a level of preparation of like you communicating, all right, so God, I handled this area of rejection, right?
Yeah.
Because you in modeling and acting, bro. You ain't going to get everything that you put out there.
You're probably not going to get 99.3%.
So I would think that a part of the way you responded in the area of rejection, so to speak, right? Where you didn't have to necessarily take it personal, right?
Right.
Where you can realize, oh, you know what? I guess he made this a decision that he felt is best for the team aspect. But if that door is shut, then possibly there's something there. And you said, if I'm tracking your story correctly, like 2 weeks later, another door opens.
Yes. Exactly.
You ain't go in there and just look, man, oh, what was me? This is some dumb stuff. Fussing them out, go on social media, blasting you, and do none of that stuff. You just in position, being open.
Yeah, so like, yeah, man, it's really crazy. Who knew like what rejection would redirect me into? It was really a place where it was preparing me. I feel like my freshman year of college was preparing me for where I am today. And that rejection, that one rejection that I got from not making the team prepared me for where I am today. And I'm going to get to that in a second.
It's redirection.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Rejection is redirection.
Come on. Let's
And
go.
It was just preparation for me.
T-shirt.
Yes, that's a t-shirt.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So my manager ended up getting me into an agency, started modeling, but they typically manage supermodels. They do Calvin Klein models, Victoria's Secret models, stuff like that. I'm not built like a supermodel. I mean, I might be built all right, but like I ain't no supermodel. So my manager ended up like talking to me about that. He was like, yo, like, you ever think about acting? And I was like, I mean, it could be cool. I would definitely give it a shot. So he sent me a monologue. I did the monologue, and he thought it was great for my natural talent without any acting lessons or classes or nothing like that. He sent it to casting directors and stuff like that, and they loved it as well. Then from there, it was a long process, but I ended up getting signed to him as my management and in creative talent management as well. And I got signed to an acting agency in New York by the name of Stewart Talent. Then from there, it was a long journey. It still is a long journey. But recently, I actually got sent, and this is important for the rejection part. I got sent something called a talent report, which is basically everything that I've auditioned for, everything I've got submitted for film and TV. And as before the acting strike, SAG strike, there was 346 different film and TV things that I've gotten submitted for or I auditioned for. And guess how many of those I booked?
How many?
0. Not one. This is important for the rejection part.
I feel like he built. I feel like a preacher in it is building. Go ahead.
So, yeah, man, I'm actually getting hyped in my chair. I'm trying to stay composed.
You go there.
Staying composed,
go there.
But that right there, being rejection, it was just like, okay, another door's about to open. We're still on strike, but there's still things coming my way that is building me up as an actor, building me up as a human being, in every area. It's affecting me in the best ways possible. It's all about the mindset for me. And I think it was important for me to understand what God was doing in those seasons.
What was God doing in those seasons?
I had to understand, even in the times of struggle, that there's glory on the other side of this. So I had to like shift my focus in that and have faith in what God was doing. Like even no matter how big the situation is, God can take the biggest, most immovable object and move it. You know what I'm saying? And I had clear understanding in that. And I just had to be patient and work hard and still work on myself and all areas of my life and just be ready for when that time comes.
How do you stay motivated? Think about it. You said out of 300 and something, you got 0.
Yeah.
That, I mean, that's like, okay, Christian, you ready to go ahead and launch this podcast, right? You got some connections. You're going to do this. Launch first episode, 0.
Yeah.
I might have pulled the plug.
Yeah.
I mean, but you like, nah, I took that 0 and just like, oh, no.
I'm going to take that and use it as motivation to push me forward. Even though I didn't get all those, everything is purposeful.
Wow.
So me not booking those doesn't mean I'm not a good actor.
That's so good.
Or that I'm not good at what I do. It just wasn't meant for me. But what's meant for me is coming for film and TV. I've been doing really well in the commercial side with voiceovers and things like that. Actually, this past weekend, I was in Rhode Island with some friends and we was watching college football, and I got to see my Powerade commercial come on TV for the first time, and that was super dope, man. It was like, yo, it was like a very like surreal moment. Like it was cool.
There you go, man. That's congrats, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I'm proud of you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
See
man.
yourself on the screen, huh?
Yeah, it was cool, man.
That is fire, man.
Yeah, so from there and just everything, like booking stuff really makes everything else worth it. Makes the 346 no's, one yes can make it all worth it. Seeing yourself on a billboard and seeing different people take pictures of you on billboards or send you to different ads that they see you on and stuff like that is amazing. Like it's really like such a good feeling, man.
How do you stay so positive?
Oh man, it's tough, but I want to say really my faith. Really my faith. And even though I go through different things, it's all about like having the right mindset. Like I said, understanding what God is doing in that particular season is going to set me up for what's next.
Give me some practical things. Like I get that. I'm not saying giving like the I don't say like the church answer. Like somebody say, "Oh, what do you gotta do? You just gotta pray about it, baby." Oh, you gotta go. I'm gonna go ahead and just do it. No, like what does that look like for you? Like who's in your ear? Like what is your root? Like what is your routine? What does that stuff look like? How are you staying so positive? Are you reading scripture? Or what are you doing?
I read sometimes, but I don't directly go there.
Okay.
I probably should.
Go ahead.
But
no judgment. I just want to know because I think this can help somebody.
Yeah, I have different outlets. Like I said, music was my first love, so I usually go to music.
Okay.
Whether it's worship music,
Okay.
I might go to the gym. I work out, try to stay fit. There's different ways that I do to keep myself uplifted and mainly stay away from different distractions that could pull me down a rabbit hole. But it's just staying above the nonsense, staying above the thoughts that could drag me down the wrong path, and staying above what's going on in your mind, because that's the battle. You're really fighting against yourself.
Okay.
Like at times I'm my biggest enemy.
Mm-hmm.
All the other stuff, all the different people, whatever anybody has to say about me, whatever rejection I got, it wasn't about them or what their thoughts on were about me.
Yeah.
It was about me.
Have you ever rejected yourself?
There has been times where it was questionable, where I had to sit back and kind of reflect on who I am.
Okay.
And it is very important for me to not forget who I am.
Okay.
Because this industry could be very, very discouraging. Very discouraging with all the different no's. You could really fight a war in your mind thinking that you're not good enough when that's not true.
Okay. That's good. So you're saying your faith, you're saying music,
Yes.
exercise,
Fitness, yeah.
fitness, scripture, your relationship, prayer with God, like all those things help you to stay at that level. So when something negative comes, you already know that's your system, your thing in place to say, you know what, I need to go ahead and dodge this bullet. Like I might need to go get up and exercise pertaining to this. So I might need to, you know what your routine is to help you go there. You ever feel like you got to adjust that one? Because some people may say, look, I've been there too. I got my system. This is great. But then something hit me and the same thing I've been doing, it's like it don't work as much anymore. And I feel like I got to shift some things. The analogy I use is that if I'm driving more, I'm going to have to fill up more. And sometimes we take a routine that we're doing, right? But we're doing more driving and you're still trying to operate off of one tank of gas that you filled up. So for you, have you had to tweak that routine?
Sometimes, if need be, I do have like I have a very good foundation of support from friends and family, so I could always reach out to somebody.
Okay.
I have like a Bible study group of young men
Mm-hmm.
called Young Lions Ministry.
Okay.
A lot of those guys are based in Jersey, but I do have some people that I could reach out, just people of accountability, holding me accountable to certain things.
Wow.
I even have you there for me. Like I have a lot of people that are supporting me and have genuine love for who I am.
Yeah.
And if I ever need it, they'll be there for me in a heartbeat. So
Now, you see, this is so good. This is what I mean about the realness, right? Not the social media area and aspect. They can just see the things like you're saying, I have community.
yes.
I have support. Like, what you're not giving me is I have excuses.
Yeah.
And that's what I celebrate about you, because it's like for me to go there, I can remember going by the house, and I'm like, what is this on the screen? I mean, it's these big old houses, like mansions or whatever. And I think your mom was like, oh, that's Brandon's. He was watching YouTube or something like that.
Yeah.
And at that moment, I was like, yo, he dreams big,
Vision.
but for that, you have to protect that,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can't always share that with everybody, or even if you do, like, to stay from that place. That's what I'm saying for you. Like, what do you tell yourself? Like, you got to look at that and say, like, I'm going to get there.
Mm-hmm.
But what self-talk? What are you doing within you to keep you on track? You getting no's, you getting zeros, you might a yes here.
Mm-hmm.
But tell us.
It's self-discipline.
Okay.
It's self-discipline is one of the most important things for me. And trying to be consistent as much as you can. I mean, motivation won't get you to the gym every time, but discipline will. Discipline leads to
Go ahead.
discipline leads to consistency.
Ah.
Consistency leads to growth. So just staying on that path and staying locked in,
Ooh.
staying away from distractions, and continuing to keep your faith in God to win that battle in your mind, that battle against yourself. And yeah, that's me right there, man.
Goodness gracious, man. That's so good. Like, so good, man.
Thank you.
Wow. Please don't miss the simplicity of what is being shared, because it's deep and it's wide. Consistency.
Yeah.
Like, you might be there like, I feel like I want to give up. I can't tell you how many businesses Lanisha and I had started over the years.
Mhm.
Like, I can't tell you how many opportunities and things but I look at it and I it's funny, like, before we started this YouTube channel, or recently, I think we talked, and I was like, Lanisha, I think she was going, you were going through our old videos? The old channel, what was it, Thriving in Love or something like that?
Yeah.
It was like 7 years ago.
Mm.
7 years ago, we started this type of journey. And for whatever reason, we stopped. Now listen to Myron Golden. Shout out, if you ever get this, God bless you. You have been ministering to me, right? And he was just talking about the level of when he was playing around with something. Hey, videos from years ago. So then when he also came to a place of like monetizing, like all that stuff just kind of came together, so forth. So I told Anisha, I said, if we were consistent,
Who knows where you would be now?
from 7 years ago,
Tell me
this
about
ain't the first time we dealt with podcasting, not to this level.
Mhm.
But me and Lanisha was sitting there, and she is coming back, y'all. I'm working on it. Y'all keep praying, all right? But she's behind the screen right now, but we're going to get her back at the table, all right? But let me tell you, the consistency, like I lost hope at times. I was like, you know what? Maybe this ain't it. It wasn't growing as fast as I may have wanted it. I didn't have the discipline, and maybe not even the right circle. So some of the stuff that you're saying is really hitting me now. Like, man, now I do have things in alignment pertaining to that. But then I didn't have that stuff. It was like me and Lanisha were like, we believing in each other. We would support and still will support other people's dreams and desire. But I had always felt deep down inside, not that it's necessarily true, but you can feel this, like, they don't really support, right?
Right.
I feel like they want us to help do this, or people may want that or whatever. But when it came to the stuff we really desired to do, I felt like it was just me and Lanisha out there just trying to knock the stuff out the park. And then after that, we tired. If we both tired, we just like, I'm done.
Yeah.
But I don't even think, like, even to this day, it's like, yo, like, let's go, y'all. Who's pushing us
Mhm.
to this day to be like, let's get it and going? It's some of your generation that's like, yo, I checked that in, loved that. That was thorough. That is crazy. So having a support system,
Mhm.
having those people that you're doing life with, like that does help the area. If it was an area of rejection, when you have that healthy community, you
Right.
have those things, those not just your yes and amen people. I mean, real, authentic love, support, counsel, coaching, all that stuff. It makes a world of a difference, man. So just encouraging somebody who's watching or listening that maybe you're processing, you're doing these things. Listen to what Brandon is saying. Like, this is power in that. Even in the face of rejection,
Mhm.
you still go for it, man.
Even when you're in a place of purpose, you don't lose. You don't look at a law. You don't really lose. You never lose until you quit.
I'm sorry. What? Say no. Don't.
You-
Go. What?
Okay. You never lose until you quit.
Okay.
So even when you lose, you don't lose because it's something that's preparing you for what's next. Like I said, rejection is redirection.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of like what I've been living by. Like that's like the story of my life
We might
right
have to
there.
name this podcast episode that.
Rejection is
We
redirection.
might have to. Go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, you can't look at a loss as a loss.
And you don't.
No.
Like, there's no way you don't, or else you
Nah.
wouldn't be where you are.
Exactly. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
And you can't quit. Stay disciplined. Stay to your craft. If you feel like this is what you're here for, if you feel like this is what God created you to do, don't give up on it. I mean, God might bring you back around it, or he might move you into a different area. Just like I thought basketball could have been my thing. I thought that could have been my purpose, but then things shifted. He used modeling to get me into acting, and acting might direct me to somewhere else. I'm open to wherever God's going to take me.
Yeah.
But those 346 things that I've gotten where I didn't get the job,
Yeah.
they weren't losses to me. They're just building me up for whatever's next, and who knows what's next. I'm excited to see what God has in store for me. But yeah, every loss is a lesson to me, man.
Every loss is a lesson. Yo, you dropping bars today. Like,
I actually got that from my songs.
oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. You still dropped it though.
Yeah.
But that's good right there. Oh man, I wish we could take like real live comments. As a matter of fact, watching right now, I want you guys to just drop in a comment if you're watching by YouTube. Like how this is hitting you, right? Like, if this is touching your heart, your mind, like, just let us know. We want to know how this is like hitting your heart, hitting your mind. Because I'm telling you, it's really hit me as to why I don't think some of us are actually breaking through, because I think that we've just given up too early.
Yeah. There's actually like this picture I've seen online where there was this guy who's like digging in dirt for diamonds. And he was going and going, and then right when he came like 3 inches away from getting into the diamonds, he quit. And when he was that close. So if you feel pulled to do something, the worst thing you could do is quit. Stay consistent, stay disciplined, focus on your craft, be willing to grow and elevate, and go for the goal.
Have you ever fell into the comparison trap? Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
Okay.
But I haven't really fell into the comparison trap,
Okay.
because I feel like everything outside of what's going on inside of me is a distraction. So like, there might be somebody out there who's really good at modeling, but I'm not going to compare myself to him because he has his market, or he may have his look that fits him. But I'm here for a reason, and God is going to show those who it's meant to be to see the light that He put within me. So I'm not really worried about what other people have going on and how that affects me. I do cheer for people. I'm a human person. I love to see people win.
Right.
I absolutely love to see people win. I get motivated through seeing people win. So yeah, I don't really compare myself to other people. That is a trap.
Yes.
That can set people up. I think that's something that social media has affected my generation with.
Yeah.
And that's it's a very tough thing, but you gotta remind people who they are and whose they are. You gotta let people know that they're made in the image of God. No matter what their defects are.
He's in the book of Genesis, by the way. Keep going.
No matter what their defects are or imperfections, you're made in the image of God. and God considers you a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
So if you compare yourself to somebody else, that's just kind of like, that's like comparing, I can't even think of, that's like me, nah, I can't even say that. Yeah, I just wouldn't compare what God created to another one of his creations.
Yeah.
He made you in his image and his likeness. So you don't have to worry about comparing yourself to anybody else.
Wow. That's good. And I hear you, and it makes sense, but we still do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we still do it.
Yeah, we do.
And I think that reminder that the comparison, if you want to compare, and I'm learning this, I'm not saying it's just an area of super like authority, because I can get out there and be like, oh man, I can't believe such and such got those views or this and this or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But if you want to compare yourself to yourself.
Exactly. And how can you use that to grow?
This episode from last episode and this last episode from that, how are we growing? How am I learning? How am I listening? What are we doing from there? So I think that's the area. I'll let you in on my prayer. Let us all in on my prayer life this morning. I went out to do like a little nature walk and different things like that. And I felt like the Lord was saying, like, you don't even have to be worried or concerned if you're operating out of what I've called and created you to go ahead and do and be. Like, if you're going after your it, elevating it, like that's the most protected and powerful place for you to go ahead and be, because that's what I've designed you for. Can I tell you something that blew my mind?
Let's hear it.
I've been coaching for years.
Mm-hmm.
Been helping leaders in marriages, as you know. It wasn't till really recent, this summer, when we took some time away with the family, when the Lord began to really deal with me about like what this thing is beyond me. So I always say I like to help people live, walk, and thrive in their God-given purpose. That's sexy. That's cool. But behind that, how do you do that? For me, Lord began to show me, like, I've always used you to help give people clarity.
Right.
I didn't think that was sexy, though. You're a clarity coach. You help people get clarity. But clarity helps you to make better decisions. It helps you to live life. It helps you to operate in things. But because of what, it wasn't sexy to me. And I was asking God, like, why didn't you show that to me? He said, because you wouldn't have received it by that way.
Exactly.
And you look at all the different people and you think about the buzz gifts and all the stuff out there. And that's why I love where we're going with this, right? You can look at Oprah asks questions, billionaires, Oprah with a B. Come on, like, what? She asks questions and triggered, like, so whatever you are, whoever you are, like, you can make bank and be effective from who you are and what you do.
Exactly.
And so I think for me, at least, it's like, oh, well, what's my special thing? And I go so deep and wide to trying to make my special thing something so unique. And it is unique. I am fearfully, wonderfully made as a master, but I can't compare me to even you or somebody else who's doing a podcast, because who I am and what I do from that level. So I'm going to ask questions. I'm doing it now.
Exactly.
I want to get clarity, not for me, for the people, all those things. And if I sit in that area and that's what God wants me to be, I got protection. I have provision. I have power. All those things we desire. I think the problem is when we uproot ourselves. Judges 9 talks about waving back and forth just because people want attention or want this or want that. And we have to do a better job at that. So even going back to you, how are you doing it? How are you staying rooted? How are you dealing with those things? You mentioned so many powerful things that keep you in the area of your focus per se, but you're in modeling.
Yeah.
You're in acting. So that area of awareness of who you are, like, how do you maintain the level of awareness?
Just by staying locked in on what I have going on, really.
On you, nobody else.
I mean, I look for the only way I look at other people else, it's not for comparison, but it's for inspiration. And seeing what I could get from them that's going to pick me up. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to drink to that.
So I actually have a shirt that says, the only time I look down on the brothers when I'm helping them up. So I don't only look within myself, but I look for people that's looking to come up to where I'm at now. And I help pull them up to where I'm at.
Wow.
And that makes me feel like, that kind of like empowers me in a way. I feel like that makes me feel like better as a person. I feel like that's only right to try to put people on and put people in position to be great.
I've said this before. Privately, I say it publicly. Like, I see that on you. Like mentoring. Like, we need more Brandons in the world. Do you know how many times I listen to young ladies who are talking about wanting to be married or relationships or whatever the case may be, and, you know, they may be dogging dudes, or they just maybe have been hurt by that pain, relationships, and different things like that. And or young men who haven't had any fathering, right? And so it's an area where I think we have to do a better job of being willing to do what you say, to say, you know what, I'm going to identify, there's somebody else that may be coming up, have a level of inspiration. And it's not always they want to be a model per se, right? It could just be the fact of who you are, how you're disciplined, sharing it. It's not even saying that you're the greatest pertaining, but you're just being you. We can teach people how to be who they are. I can't teach you. Me teaching you how to be me won't do you any justice.
Exactly.
Like, I need you to ask the questions. In Genesis, the best coach out there, the best life coach, God asked Adam. He says, "Where are you? Who told you you were naked?" He's asking questions that help people unfold. I think if we commit to moving in directions that we're asking questions that help people have the self-awareness to be better for who they are, a better me, so it's a better we type of situation. So I see that on you, man. I see you being a magnet for men. I see you being a magnet in the area where you can help lift people up and from who they are, authentically for who they are. I see people being like they were misrepresented or they were misunderstood. But in you, they find a safe place. And you be able to pull some things out of them that other people may have rejected. Other things that are inside of them that they may have not had somebody to really listen to what they're saying. You got what I'm saying? Like, you listen. Everybody wants to lecture, but you listen to what they're saying, and you have the fruit on your tree, bro.
Yeah.
That right there is the game changer, man. So thank you for being you. But please, like, when those moments hit, like, take every opportunity. I even see it in the realm and the sphere of even like, I guess we could say Hollywood or influencers, because you're trustworthy.
Yeah.
So protect that, man. But keep pressing that.
I received that, man. Thank you.
Oh man.
I truly want to be blessed to be a blessing. What's the point of being blessed if you're not sharing with others? So
Would that be your it?
I would say so. Absolutely. I would say that's my it.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Look, we're going to transition to a segment that we recorded of Elevating in Your Element, where Brandon allows us to be in the studio where the magic happens, y'all. I mean, telling you, right? So stay tuned. We're going there right now. All right. So I'm excited, and then we'll go ahead and get back here. All right.
Let's go.
We have made it to the studio where the magic happens with B Miles. What do you do to prepare for an audition?
When it comes to audition prep, it varies depending on what the audition is and what the depth of the character is, right? So if it's something for like a voiceover, that's not really much preparation going into that. That's more trial and error. So I'll record it, listen to it, see if it follows the lines of what they're looking for. If it doesn't, I'll retake it and then retake it until I feel confident with it, and then send it in. For like a commercial, that one would be a little different. That one's where I'll like get a little bit of prep. I'll write down notes. Everything that I do has notes. Notes on if I'm saying things the right way, the tone of which I say it, facial features, how I'm looking. A lot of different things go into it. It's very detail oriented. Commercial and film, TV, that's all different in terms of preparation. So for like big like films that has like a big budget, things like that, things that I really want to go after, that's where I contact like my acting coach, 𝐓𝐡𝐢𝐬 Taylor. She comes clutch. She's based in Orlando. And then we'll go from there. She taught me a lot on like how to do notes for auditions and how to truly prepare for auditions. Wow. You really have to go into it and to get into the character and be that character that you're looking to play.
Wow. Well, I got to go there then, because you're talking about the area of a character.
Yeah.
So like, what is that like? Like, you got to become somebody that you're not.
Yeah, just for the audition. And sometimes that could take a toll, really, if you really go in depth with it.
Okay.
But so far I haven't gotten anything that's like too dangerous.
Okay.
To where it's like taking me out of my mode or whatever. But yeah, nothing too far from, I haven't done anything too far from who I am as an individual, outside of like the drug dealer parts and stuff like that. But That's
B
pretty
Miles
much.
ain't slinging.
Yeah, nah.
Okay, just checking. Nah.
Nah, I'm
Ooh.
good.
So I want to go a little bit deeper, and then we can wrap up our segment here. But I'm thinking about things that you've said. Like it has to require focus, right, for you to go ahead and learn the parts and audition different things like that. So again, somebody's watching or listening, and maybe they are an aspiring actor or model or so forth and so on, or maybe they're not. But
Hmm.
this is just really intriguing to them, and I want us to give them something to really take for life.
Yeah.
So, like, how can we take some of the things you're saying and use those for life, like preparation? Like, this is goals that somebody's doing. You have a goal when you go for an audition.
Hmm.
Your desire is to get the part.
Yeah. Right.
And so for somebody's life, like, they have goals, but there's some similarities. I'm wondering if there's some similarities that you have within your prep that
Hmm.
connects to actually life and actually going for goals or going for dreams like that. So who would you say would be some things that we can pull from your preparation process
Yeah.
that actually can help people to achieve goals?
I would say it's really pushing yourself to maximize your potential in every way. Like literally try to like level up every little bit of yourself, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, all those things matter. And what I do is it's all a part of like routines. Like I said, with the audition process, it's all a routine, whether that's the audition routine, workout routine, morning routine, face routine, or skincare routine. All of that stuff matters because your look is important when it comes to modeling and all that. Like even having like a pimple on your face that could
Wow.
like make you not get a job.
Wow.
All that stuff is important. So I'll really say having a routine, sticking to it, and staying disciplined.
Wow.
Discipline is probably the most important thing when it comes to a lot of things in life. Having that self-discipline and control, knowing who you are.
Mhm.
In this industry, it's very easily like it's easy to be discouraged. So having a good idea of who you are and staying disciplined and really like having faith, I'll really say that's the major part because for me, I had to know God before I knew myself, and then God revealed to me who I was,
Mm.
and then from there it was up. Like I felt free, and that's what I would encourage people to do
Wow.
is start with God first, and then He's gonna reveal who you are to you, and then everything else falls into place.
Okay.
For me, it was like that, and yeah, that's how everything worked out with acting and everything, like that routine. Staying disciplined to that, over time, you're gonna just get better. There's gonna be growth, and slow grind's better than no grind.
Wow.
I'm still here. I've been signed for acting for about 2 years now,
Mhm.
and I'm still here, like I said, and things are starting to pick up now,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's about to take off.
It is, and that's dope, and I'm super excited about that.
Yeah.
You're saying something that's loud and clear in my ear, right?
Hmm.
But I want to bring it out in case somebody didn't hear it. Like what I'm hearing you say in so many words is like your personal brand matters.
Yes.
And I'm not even talking about just area just social media and even the area acting, but who you are, like your word, like your appearance, like from the inside out, like all of it needs to align
Hmm.
pertaining to the things that they're desiring to go ahead and deal with and do, right? Sometimes we just focus on the exterior situations, but you have to deal with that, but you also have to deal with your physical aspect. I know you're fit, and I tried to get on some of your plans, and I can't handle them
Oh yeah, I
Jones.
still gotta get you right.
You got to still get me right, but
Yeah.
I got to grow up a little bit on that. So, but like your personal brand matters. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And even the area pertaining to your faith, like that's the area of representation as well. Like what you
Absolutely.
represent, like all those things work together. Like and so, ooh, see, I ain't trying to go into all that way right now, but just to encourage somebody, like all things do work together. So from your mindset, your heart posture, the things that you're designed to do. Brandon said it was his faith as our foundation. God shared with him, helped him to realize who he is, who he created him to be. And then from your words, just like things start to align.
Hmm.
So there's divine alignment in recognizing who you are, what you have, and going for those things.
Yeah.
So this is, and I mean, if I can be transparent, like you're talking about the area studio, like it's amazing to me what can happen here.
Yeah.
Like,
Starts here.
so it's no
Yeah.
excuse.
Yeah. I mean, this is where the work is put in for real, for real.
Okay.
All the studying, all like I said, faith without works is dead.
Yeah.
So you can have that faith,
Yeah.
but if you're not putting in that work to get to where you want to be, then it's kind of like pointless.
Yeah, it's mic drop. I don't need to say nothing else after that. Y'all
Yeah.
heard it here in the studio. We're gonna go back to the elevated studio, and we're going to go to a different level. All right? Elevate with us. Peace.
Still, but back to the modeling aspect. The guy that gave me a lot of information.
Hold on. So we're back. We've been talking. Okay, we're back from Elevate on Your Element.
We're back.
Okay, we're back. Okay, we're rolling. We'll get this thing on. It's some good stuff. We're live. Let's get this thing going. Just to bring you on the conversation. I apologize. Okay, we're back. Let's go from there. You want to bring some things in? We got it. Come on.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't even know he was gonna come back with it. But yeah. So I reached out to people before I got into modeling, and there was a guy by the name of Kwame that gave me a lot of advice that really helped me and inspired me to get into modeling and get to the professional level. And everything came full circle earlier this year when I had a photo shoot with Eastside Golf and the NBA. They did a collaboration, and Kwame was there. And that was like such a dope moment to see him and everything just come full circle. And I got to thank him in person, and it was just a really dope moment. And yeah, that was dope. I was blessed to experience that, and also reaching out to different people when I was getting into acting. The writer from the show All American. I don't know if he's the writer or if he's the creator, the one who came up with the whole show. The show All American. I reached out to him. He gave me good advice for acting, and also Mac Wilds. And I still reach out to Mac Wilds here and there, and I update him on what's going on. I haven't hit him up in maybe like a year and a half or 2 years now, but I look forward to like hitting him up and telling him about everything that's been going on as of recently. But Mac Wilds really gave me a lot of really good information that really inspired me, and I still use his words today whenever I'm stepping on set anywhere I go and stuff like that.
So you slipped in the DMs.
Yeah, well, that kind of sound crazy. Like I ain't sliding another man DM like that, but
you reached out,
yeah,
by way of social media.
Social media, yeah,
and they responded.
I was actually shocked that they did.
Okay.
I also reached out to like Michael B. Jordan at the time, Chadwick Boseman, when he was still here, and a few others, but it wasn't that much. But I got feedback from 2 other people in the acting realm with things.
What is that? Just give me like what kind of message was that? Like, hey,
it was just like hey, I'm Brandon Miles. I'm from a small city with big dreams. Just looking to make it to the next level. Just be successful in an area. I was at the time I was saying I was new to this, but I'm looking to get some advice from people who are seasoned. Seasoned, have experience, and
we just helped somebody out right there.
Yeah, reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out. You guys can always reach out to me. I'm always down to give advice. I don't care who you are. If I don't know you, if I know you, whatever it is. And it doesn't just have to be acting and modeling. If you want encouragement, I'm always here to show love to anybody, no matter what color you are, what race, what anything. I'm here to show love. I'm for humanity, really.
Wow. So it's a perfect time to go ahead and plug your social media channels, tags, outlets, all that stuff. How can we follow you, DM you? And I don't see, I'm gonna be careful with us slipping in the DMs and all that other stuff. Let's be careful. Right now, we're talking about mentoring, helping in different areas.
Sliding in the DMs.
All right, listen. Go ahead.
At Brandon Allen Miles on everything. Full government is crazy, but I'm throwing it out there. I don't care.
All right. Cool. Look, what do you want to leave the Elevated fam with? Like a word of wisdom and knowledge before we go into 5 on Fire.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah. So I wouldn't say anything. Everything that I'm going to say is going to sound cliche, but it is what it is. It is what you make it. My motto in life is live life. And whatever it is that makes you feel like you're living, bring that out and make the most out of every opportunity. Make the most out of every opportunity. And when you're not, and you're in that season of preparation, work your butt off, stay grounded, stay locked in, stay disciplined, stay consistent, and keep your mind, win that war in your mind. It's a constant battle, but win that war in your mind. Utilize your faith to win that battle, because a lot of people are fighting different demons, and faith is the way out of that and to win that battle. there's really a lot that I can say, man. I just really want people to stay encouraged. There's a lot going on in this world with social media, the different wars and everything like that. Stay encouraged and show love to the people that are around you. Um, and have just really just show love to people that's around you and have a nice village around you, nice community of people that's going to hold you accountable and that's going to encourage you, that's going to help build you up into maximizing your potential or maximizing your potential to ultimately reach your purpose and make you feel fulfilled as a human.
Awesome. You heard it from B Miles,
the boy.
All right,
Yeah.
5 on fire. Let's go. We've heard it all episode long, all throughout the episode, y'all, right? Rejection is redirection. Rejection is redirection. And I'm going to be honest with you. It sat me down. It made me think. It made me process that, right? And I've been thinking about it. And it raises some questions. If rejection is redirection, then what is the redirection? Right? What is the actual redirection? Look, would you consider this? Consider that the redirection is in the why. Woo! Don't miss that. Don't miss that. Consider that it's in the why. Well, what you talking about? Look, think about that in the area of rejection, whatever it may be, whether you're in ministry, whether you're in business, whether you're identifying what your inner tugging is and you're going for it and you've experienced some level of rejection. Maybe it's self-rejection, right? Maybe it's not just somebody out there who's been saying this or doing this or thinking that, but no matter how you've been experiencing the rejection, consider the redirection in the redirection dealing with the why. And I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes we got to go 7 whys deep. I'm going to say it again. Sometimes we got to go 7 whys deep. Where you got to think about, okay, I experienced the area of the rejection, but why does that bother me? Then you get that answer. Then you got to ask yourself it again. Why did that bother? Or why? And keep going and keep going. Christian, you need to give me an example pertaining to. Well, let's just throw that thing out there. Let's sit there and let's process this for just a brief moment and think this thing through. Let's think about this by the area of throwing a subject out there. Perhaps you've dealt with the rejection of dealing with your passion. Okay? And you out there and I'm doing my thing. This is what I do. And you put out there and you realize there's some loved ones, there's some out there who've rejected. You felt like, look, they don't get it. They don't understand that. Why does that bother you? One, all right? And you come up to the area, well, that's because I want to be supported. Well, why do you feel like you need to be supported? Okay? And then we keep going from there and you say, well, you know what? Well, because I want to be loved. Well, why do you want to feel love? Why does that? And you keep going and realize that and you keep going to the root and you get to that 7th level and you will receive so much truth about what it is that has truly been bothering you. But I can't leave you there. I can't leave you there with just realizing that this was the problem is. You need to type in the comment section, then what is the area of the solution? And I'm going to tell you what, we got to go 7 levels deep in the solution. Because I can say, you know what? The scripture says that perfect love casts out all fear. So maybe there's a fear of rejection pertaining to that. Maybe there's some word, whatever. And so let's just say that perfect love is the solution. Now I'm just using this as an example. You seek God and see what you need to realize what your solution is. You take that solution and you go ahead and reverse engineer that and go to the other side with that. You realize, okay, so if this is the solution, if perfect, why is it the solution? Because for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son, whoever believes in him. Okay, or the area of what love is, 1 Corinthians 13. And you say love is patient, is kind, not jealous, not either. Okay, whatever you may need, what you keep going forward and you go forward and build that thing back up 7 levels higher to help you process where you've had pain and you can turn that into power, realizing and recognizing that there is redirection in this. And I now understand why that thing hurt me at that point in place and gave me some pain, but I also know the solution to that. You come out there with a solution, beloved, You wrap a strategy around that solution. You wrap some scripture around that solution. You commit to moving forward, identifying what it is and putting something in there, a strategy to help you move forward. And you can really embrace the area of the redirection. Maybe your story isn't like our guest today. Maybe you're at that point in that posture, in that particular situation, and you've been processing and you're recognizing, look, that makes sense. Some of us don't deal with that this way. Some of us deal with it this way. Some of us are not at the place of where it doesn't bother you. Some of you have dealt with the area, the fear of moving forward. Try this 7 levels deep pertaining to what you may deem as the problematic side. And then also 7 levels, maybe we need to say going 7 levels higher to recognize and realize what the solution can be pertaining to this. Because rejection can be a form of redirection. Think about what God is saying to you. Think about when one door closed, another one can turn around and open. Think about the posture of your heart of what God, He wants to bless you and increase you, beloved. This is 5 on fire. You got a strategy. Go ahead and work that thing, and we'll see you in the next episode.